Miss Wanda is back in the middle of the drama, and this time she is making it very clear that she is not afraid to call out names, stir up rumors, and make sure people know where she stands. When Wanda speaks, she always brings a mix of entertainment and chaos because she has never been the type to hold her tongue. She says what she wants, when she wants, and she doesn't care who agrees with her or who doesn't. And right now, she is focused on none other than Arionne Curry, Martell Holt, Maurice Scott, and Marceau Scott. Yes, Wanda put it all out there, and she made it clear she is ready to face Arian directly if it comes down to it. What makes this moment stand out is the boldness of Wanda's words. She has often defended her daughter Tisha in arguments with other cast members, but now she's stepping into territory that includes Martell's longtime mistress Arian, the Scotts, and even questions about what really went down behind the scenes. She said there was a lot of stuff going on, and she wasn't shy about spelling it out. She reminded people of accusations Martell made in the past, about gummies, pills, and things that had people wondering if more than just alcohol was being passed around at certain times. Wanda's way of putting it together made it sound like Martell and Arian might not have been the only ones caught up in some questionable moments. To make her point even stronger, Wanda brought up one of Martell's past statements. She reminded everyone that during a heated exchange in the park, Martell himself admitted that he had to hit first before anybody else could. That comment might have seemed small at the time, but when you line it up with Wanda's recent theory, it makes people start to question if there's truth behind her words. If Martell openly admitted he had to go first, then what else does that mean about how these men moved? According to Wanda, it suggests something deeper, and that's when she threw out the possibility that not just Martell and Arian, but Maurice and Marceau were involved too. This is where things got really wild because Wanda didn't stop at calling it a three-way. Instead, she went as far as using the word five-way. That is messy and bold, even for Miss Wanda. People listening to her live stream didn't know whether to laugh, roll their eyes, or believe her, but the fact is thousands of people tuned in to hear her say it. In her live chat, some people quickly dismissed her theory, saying she was giving life to a dead rumor. Others, however, said it actually sounded like it could be true based on things they had seen or heard before. And that's exactly why Wanda keeps drawing an audience, because even when people doubt her, she has a way of connecting past comments, moments, and slip-ups that make her stories sound believable. One of the most interesting points she made was about Martell himself. At one point in the past, Martell slipped and said Maurice had already been with that woman. If Martell was telling the truth, then that adds another piece to the puzzle. Why would he say he had to go first if Maurice was already involved? That little contradiction is the kind of detail Wanda thrives on, and she used it to keep fueling the discussion. Whether people think she's exaggerating or not, the fact remains that Martell has said enough questionable things over the years to make Wanda's theories hard to ignore, but Wanda didn't just focus on the alleged situations. She also gave her opinion on how Maurice handled himself during that heated moment when Martell came at him. Wanda said that as a lawyer, Maurice should have been able to shut Martell down quickly and with confidence. In her eyes, Maurice looked weak because he didn't defend himself properly, and she believes that made the situation look worse. When Wanda says this, it hits harder because she is not just pointing out drama, she is criticizing a man's ability to stand firm when attacked. And of course, that opens up a whole other debate because Maurice has always presented himself as calm, collected, and logical. For Wanda to suggest he looked like he was hiding something, or too scared to clap back, makes people wonder if he was holding back for a reason. The thing about Huntsville is that drama doesn't just stay on the show. Once something is said, it spills out onto social media, into Instagram posts, into live streams, and across fan pages. And Wanda, being the strong personality that she is, wasn't about to keep quiet. When she went live to speak her mind, over 13,000 people tuned in. That number alone shows how invested people are in hearing what she has to say. Even the ones who claim they don't like her or don't believe her still show up because they don't want to miss what might come out of her mouth next. And the comments in her live were just as entertaining as her words. Some told her to worry about her own man instead of everyone else's. Some accused her of giving unnecessary attention to a rumor that was already dead. But plenty of others were laughing, adding fuel to the fire, and encouraging her to spill even more tea. Wanda, being who she is, didn't back down from the criticism. She clapped back and reminded everyone that it was her platform, her live, and she had every right to talk about whatever she wanted. If they didn't like it, they could leave. And honestly, she's right, people love to complain but they never turn away from the drama because deep down, they crave it. The bigger point in all of this is what Wanda said about being ready to face Ariane. She wasn't shy about making it clear that she is not scared of Ariane, not intimidated, and not willing to let her daughter or her family be embarrassed without stepping up. Wanda has always been the type to defend her people, whether it's Tisha, Marceau, or anyone connected to them. And when she said she was ready to come face to face with Ariane, it sounded less like a casual comment and more like a warning. In Wanda's eyes, Ariane has been at the center of too much damage for too long. Let's not forget that Ariane's relationship with Martel is what destroyed his marriage to Melody, created tension between the cast, and caused lasting pain that is still being felt today. For Wanda, the fact that this situation continues to linger is unacceptable. And so, her saying she is ready to see Ariane face to face is her way of saying enough is enough. She wants to confront the woman who has been tied to so much drama and, in her mind, hold her accountable, but the timing of Wanda's comments is also important. She didn't just randomly decide to speak up about this now. Timing matters, and when someone like Wanda starts talking about Ariane and Martel at this level, it usually means something is happening behind the scenes. Maybe something has already gone down that the public doesn't know about yet. Maybe tensions are building for something explosive that's about to come out. Whatever the reason, Wanda saying what she said when she said it tells us that there is more to this story than what we are seeing on the surface. Wanda also brought up the infamous Vegas trip. She reminded everyone that what happens in Vegas should stay in Vegas, but Martel couldn't keep his mouth shut. He brought the drama back home, and that's why people are still talking about it now. According to Wanda, if the guys had just kept quiet and left it in Vegas, things would not have escalated to this point. But because Martel spoke up and exposed things, the entire situation followed them back to Huntsville and continues to haunt them. And she's not wrong, Martel has a history of sharing things he probably shouldn't, and once those words are out, they can't be taken back. Her live was full of moments that made people laugh, too. For example, when she called Martel a peeping Tom, the chat went wild because it was such a direct and colorful description. Wanda knows how to mix humor with shade, and that's part of what makes her so entertaining to watch. Even when she's dragging someone, she does it in a way that makes people laugh, which is why people keep showing up to listen to her. Of course, Martel wasn't going to stay quiet either. Around the same time Wanda was speaking out, Martel posted things on his Instagram that made it look like he was trying to rewrite the story. He wanted people to believe that he and Marceau had made up, but Wanda wasn't buying it for a second. She quickly shut that down, saying he didn't make up with anyone and was just trying to look good for the cameras, and she has a point. Martel has been known to throw his friends under the bus when it benefits him, so it wouldn't be surprising if he pretended to be cool with Marceau while still harboring resentment. The truth is, Wanda isn't worried about being liked. She said it herself, she doesn't care if people dislike her, she doesn't care what women say about her, and she's not about to change her ways because of public opinion. She is going to stand on what she believes, and right now she believes Martel, Maurice, and Marceau got themselves caught up in something messy with Ariane right in the middle. For Wanda, speaking her truth is more important than being popular. When you think about it, Wanda saying she's ready to come face to face with Ariane is not just talk. It is her way of sending a clear warning. If Ariane wants to stay connected to this circle, then she's going to have to deal with Wanda directly. And that's something a lot of people would love to see, because no matter how you feel about Wanda, you know she is going to speak her mind and say the things others won't dare to say. Just imagine what it would look like if Wanda and Ariane were actually in the same room together. No filters, no holding back, no producers cutting scenes short. It would be chaos, pure entertainment, and the kind of confrontation that would get people talking for weeks. Wanda doesn't sugarcoat anything, and Ariane has always been quick to defend herself, so putting them together would guarantee an explosive clash. That's the kind of moment viewers live for, and the reason people continue to tune in to see what's next. The way Wanda laid it all out makes it clear that this story is far from over. Whether you believe every detail or not, she has sparked new conversations, reminded people of old comments, and pushed the cast back into the spotlight of speculation. With Martel posting on Instagram, Maurice looking weak in her eyes, Marceau being questioned once again, and Ariane still connected to the drama, this situation has all the elements of another major fallout, and here's the final thought: Wanda is not going to stop. She thrives on being part of the conversation, and she knows people can't resist tuning in to hear her perspective. As long as she feels her family is being dragged into the mess, she will continue to speak up, no matter how wild it sounds. And whether people believe her or not, they'll keep watching because at the end of the day, Wanda brings the kind of unfiltered, unapologetic energy that reality TV was built on. So, when Wanda says she's ready to face Ariane, believe her. It's not just words, it's a promise. And if that moment ever happens, it will go down as one of the most unforgettable showdowns we've ever seen.